Hi, how are you? Everyone, welcome to the Gentle Physicist. What if tonight, as you close your eyes, you could drift through the quiet machinery of your own mind and finally understand it? What if every dream, every flicker of color behind your eyelids was not chaos, but communication, a soft language your brain speaks only when the world goes silent? Welcome to a place between science and stillness. Here, we'll travel through 102 calming truths about dreams. How they heal, how they protect, how they build entire universes behind the glow of your closed eyes. You don't need to think or try or even stay awake. Just listen. Let the rhythm of words guide your breathing and let curiosity do the rest. As the night folds around you, I'll show you how neurons become storytellers, how light turns into memory, how the heart and mind whisper in time. This isn't just knowledge, it's peace, disguised as science. Every sound you hear is a step deeper into calm. So before we begin, take one slow breath in and let it go. The day can wait. The night is ready. If your mind already feels softer, you can subscribe, not for noise, but for more quiet journeys like this one. Now, close your eyes. The dream has already begun. What if your next breath is the second your mind begins to dream? The night settles around you like soft fabric, and the world outside the window becomes a quieter version of itself. Each sound stretches and fades into distance. Inside your body, a secret shift begins, an invisible dimming of the mind's lights. The constant rhythm of thought, the quick movements of the day, all begin to slow. Alpha waves bloom like gentle ripples across the surface of your brain, smoothing the rough edges of wakefulness. Your heartbeat follows their lead, easing into a steady, slower pattern. The space between one thought and the next widens, filled only with the calm of your own breathing. The body doesn't force this descent, it surrenders to it. Every muscle, every pulse, every cell listens to the same silent signal. Rest now. The chatter of neurons grows hushed, the noise of the world fades, and what remains is the quiet prelude to dreaming. Somewhere beneath awareness, the architecture of sleep starts to form. It is not a wall that closes behind you, but a doorway that opens forward. The moment you hover between awake and asleep, your consciousness begins to blur. Images flicker like distant stars. Faces and places drift past, untethered from time. There is no rush, no rule, only the rhythm of breath leading you deeper. For a brief moment, everything is still. You are both here and almost gone. You are the calm before the dream. And as your breathing deepens, that first flicker of sleep becomes a soft glow in the distance, an unseen light waiting to guide you inward. And somewhere in that gentle pull, the night begins its quiet work. Have you ever wondered what calm looks like inside your mind? If you could see it, you'd find waves, slow, luminous tides moving through the dark. Each one rises and falls in measured silence, carrying your thoughts toward the edge of sleep. These are your alpha waves, the body's lullaby written in electricity. All day long, your brain sings in faster notes, bright, sharp bursts called beta rhythms. But as you close your eyes, the melody changes. Beta fades like city noise disappearing behind glass. Alpha takes over, stretching time, smoothing thought, letting awareness drift into rhythm. You begin to feel the difference without needing to understand it. Shoulders heavier, breath slower, heartbeat perfectly steady. The deeper frequencies, theta and delta, wake quietly beneath, patient as deep water. Soon they will rise, folding you further into rest. It's astonishing to think that peace can be measured in cycles per second, that tranquility has a pattern science can trace. On a monitor, calm looks like waves rolling onto endless sand, and you, lying here, are both ocean and shore. Each breath you take adds another gentle pulse to that hidden sea. The mind hums in violet tones, a private song without sound, carrying you toward a softer world where meaning becomes feeling and stillness begins to dream. Have you ever felt yourself slipping away yet still aware enough to notice it? That strange floating moment where the body is heavy, but the mind begins to wander? That's hypnagogia, the twilight between wakefulness and sleep, a fragile bridge where reality flickers and an imagination starts to breathe. In this gentle threshold, the brain paints brief flashes of imagery. Faces appear and fade, colors bloom and vanish, voices whisper without meaning. You're not dreaming yet, you're watching your subconscious rehearse. Alpha waves mingle with slower theta rhythms, weaving sensations that are half memory, half creation. It's the mind loosening its grip on logic, letting the door of dreaming open just enough to peek inside. Scientists call these flickers intrusions of REM. Poets call them visions. You might see someone you've never met or hear music you've never learned. For a few suspended seconds, the rules of the waking world dissolve and the subconscious begins to play. Some people fall through this stage instantly. Others drift here for minutes, floating between now and nowhere. There's no need to chase these images. They come like fireflies, delicate, fleeting, and free. Simply notice them as they pass. Each one is a signal that your consciousness is letting go. That thought is becoming story. That wakefulness is melting into dream. And as those tiny visions fade like the last lights of evening, your breath deepens once more. The twilight closes softly behind you, and the first true dream waits, patient and glowing, just ahead. Have you ever noticed how your breath changes when the world grows quiet? Each inhale becomes slower, each exhale longer, as if the body is whispering to the mind, it's time to rest. Breathing is more than survival. It's the rhythm that opens the gate between wakefulness and sleep. With every gentle breath out, your body sends a message, a soft pulse through your nervous system. Release, surrender, drift. Inside you, a delicate chemistry begins to shift. As carbon dioxide rises, your brain listens, responding with the calm of ancient wisdom. The heart slows, blood pressure eases, and melatonin glows like starlight behind your eyes. Breathing becomes a lullaby written in the oldest language your body knows. You're not forcing sleep, you're being guided toward it, carried by the rhythm that has always known the way. Imagine your breath as a tide, rising to touch the shore of consciousness, and then falling back into the ocean of dreams. The moment you stop trying to control it, the body takes over, steady and kind. Each exhale releases the day's noise. Each inhale gathers quiet. Somewhere in that rhythm, the dream gate creaks open, not a door, but a shimmer. Behind it waits the soft landscape of sleep, where the body restores and the mind begins to wander safely. And as you breathe again, slower than before, you feel it, the stillness that holds everything and the gentle truth that every breath is the beginning of another dream. Did you know your mind remembers dreams best just before sunrise? Long before your alarm stirs the air, your brain glows quietly in its final cycle of REM. These last dreams are different, vivid, colorful, stitched with clearer emotions. As daylight inches closer, the chemistry of your mind changes again. Cortisol begins to rise, waking memory circuits that were sleeping through the night. What was once a blur now becomes a story you can hold. In this delicate balance of night and morning, your consciousness hovers halfway between both worlds. The body still lies in rest, but thought begins to move again. Softly, slowly, the prefrontal cortex, silent through the deep hours, starts to hum. It captures flashes of scenes before they dissolve, a place you've never been, a voice you almost recognize, a feeling you can't name but somehow remember. Most people wake within minutes of this moment, unaware of how perfectly timed it is. The final REM cycle is nature's gentle way of handing back your awareness, one dream at a time. If you've ever woken with an image clinging to your mind, water, light, laughter, that was your brain still speaking in dream language, translating mystery into memory. The dawn itself helps you remember. Light touches the eyelids, neurons spark, and memory takes its final snapshot before the dream world fades completely. And as you open your eyes for a heartbeat, you carry the glow of another world with you, a quiet souvenir from the horizon of sleep. Have you ever heard someone say that dreams happen in the blink of an eye? It sounds poetic, but the truth is softer and more fascinating. Dreams do not live in seconds. They stretch, wander, and unfold like the tide. While it may feel as though you wake from a dream that barely began, the science tells another story. Most dreams last between 5 and 20 minutes, and some, the ones that linger long after waking, can span the full length of a song, or even more. Time inside a dream bends gently. The mind doesn't measure it as clocks do. In sleep, emotion becomes the ruler of time. Moments expand if they carry feeling and shrink if they do not. That's why you can drift through what feels like hours of story in only a few minutes of real time. It isn't deception, it's artistry. Your brain edits and folds time like fabric, stitching together meaning from fragments of memory and imagination. Even the briefest dreams contain entire worlds. A glance, a sound, a step through a doorway can hold more experience than an hour of waking thought. When you open your eyes again, the brain translates those elastic moments into the language of memory, and they compress, leaving you convinced it all lasted just a second. But it didn't. Dreams live in their own rhythm, unconcerned with the ticking outside. What feels fleeting is often vast. And as you breathe again, time itself seems to sigh and settle, waiting for the next dream to unfold. Have you ever felt a memory drift by like mist? Picture yourself lying weightless in the quiet of your own mind, surrounded by clouds made from everything you've ever seen, heard, or loved. Each one glows faintly, silver and warm. They move slowly, reshaping themselves into images. Childhood laughter, forgotten colors, a moment of kindness that never left you. You're not remembering. You're floating through the architecture of who you are. Inside these clouds, every thought becomes vapor. Memories rise and fall like breath, forming the soft weather of the soul. Scientists call it consolidation, neurons replaying the day's scenes, choosing which to keep and which to let dissolve. But to you, it feels like drifting through sky. Nothing pulls you down here. You simply exist, suspended in the gentle hum of your own continuity. And if you're still here with me, breathing slow and calm, you can press like, a quiet signal, a ripple in this shared calm that tells the algorithm there is peace worth keeping. Then let your hand rest again, The clouds will carry you the rest of the way. As you move deeper, notice how the air thickens into color. Every cloud you pass through softens you further, erasing the edges of thought until only warmth remains. You are safe in this pale sky of memory, hovering between what has been and what is about to become. And somewhere ahead, the next dream is forming, glowing, patient, and waiting for you to arrive. Have you ever wondered why the mind insists on dreaming? Every night, it paints stories without your permission. Scenes stitched from fragments of feeling, pieces of memory, hints of tomorrow. Science tells us that dreams are the language of emotional balance. In the dark, your brain rewrites the day's unfinished sentences. It sorts fear into safety, chaos into pattern, noise into music. What seems random is, in truth, repair. Inside the sleeping mind, the limbic system glows softly, your emotional core alive with color. Here, anxiety loses its sharpness. Sadness reshapes into understanding. You may not realize it, but as you dream, your mind is healing. Each image, each whispered story is a kind of gentle therapy written in symbols only you can read. Scientists have found that this process helps the brain file away distress, store learning, and restore calm. Poets might say the same thing more simply. Dreaming is how the heart exhales. If you're still awake within this quiet, take a slow breath with me. And if this moment feels like peace, you can tap subscribe, not as a task, but as a soft promise to return. We'll drift through this world of calm science again together. Dreams do not need to make sense. They only need to feel. The meaning hides not in the details, but in the relief that follows. And as you rest now, your mind continues its secret work, writing comfort into the folds of sleep, turning thought into light, and light into rest. If you're still here with me, floating somewhere between wake and dream, that means your mind has found its rhythm. Your breath is steady, your heartbeat quiet, your thoughts soft as smoke. This is the space where the brain begins to heal itself, not through effort, but through stillness. And I want to thank you for being here, for choosing to slow down when the world moves too fast. You can gently tap subscribe now, not out of habit, but as a small ritual of calm, a promise to yourself that you'll return to these quiet nights of science and wonder. Every time you do, your brain will remember the way back to peace a little faster. You can even comment below, perhaps share the dream fact or feeling that stayed with you tonight. Each comment becomes part of this calm circle, a constellation of minds learning to rest together. When you speak softly into this space, others will find it too. People who lie awake and need the same hush, the same gentle science to fall asleep to. You're not alone in this quiet. Thousands drift beside you, breathing in rhythm. The night listens when you breathe. The mind listens when you pause. And as your eyelids grow heavier, know that this stillness isn't empty. It's full of meaning, full of unseen connection. You are part of a dream that doesn't end when you wake. There's a moment too small to measure when waking becomes dreaming. You don't notice it happen. It's more of a sigh than a step. The mind lets go of the world, and the world lets go of you. The walls of thought dissolve into something soft, and for the first time tonight, you're truly weightless. You're crossing the quiet threshold where consciousness turns to color. In this tender transition, the body lies still, protected by nature's design. Your muscles rest in perfect safety, while your mind begins its nightly wander. Beneath closed eyes, the first shapes of a dream unfold, slow spirals of light, familiar voices blurred into melody, the gentle echo of something half remembered. REM sleep begins its quiet dance, and every pulse in your brain moves to its rhythm. Your heartbeat and breath align, two steady instruments playing a lullaby written only for you. The conscious world fades completely now. The noise of time, of duty, of daylight, all of it floats away. What remains is the soft hum of imagination, boundless and kind. If your breathing feels easy and your thoughts are floating free, you can comment "completed" to mark this drift. It's our little signal, a way to whisper across the dark that you've made it to the dream. You are inside the architecture of your own night sky now. Every star is a thought, every shadow a memory finding its peace. Rest here. The dream has begun, and the night is keeping you safe. Have you ever imagined what it feels like to sink through the surface of your own mind? One slow breath, and the air around you becomes water. Cool, soft, endless. This is the descent into REM, where the body grows still and the imagination awakens completely. You're not falling, you're floating downward through blue layers of calm. Here, your muscles rest under a quiet spell called atonia. The brain sends gentle signals to keep the body safe, ensuring that every movement in your dream stays within the borders of thought. It's a kind design. Your mind is free to wander, while your body stays protected. Like a diver in clear water, you drift deeper, surrounded by silence that hums faintly with pulse and breath. Dreams begin to shimmer around you, distant shapes, shifting colors, ripples of memory. The sound of the day is dissolved. You can sense only heartbeat and rhythm, slow, steady, certain. You've entered the ocean floor of sleep, where meaning drifts like plankton, and the subconscious begins to glow. If you can still feel this calm, take a breath with me. Let it fill you like light underwater. And if you'd like to keep returning to these quiet depths, press subscribe, a small promise to come back to this sea of calm whenever you need to float again. The deeper you go, the softer the noise becomes, until you find yourself surrounded by peace that feels infinite. The body is still, but the soul is swimming. Have you ever wondered what light looks like under the surface of sleep? Down here, inside the deep blue stillness of your mind, tiny sparks begin to bloom, chemical lanterns glowing in rhythm with your dreams. Acetylcholine flickers first, bright and smooth, weaving the fine threads of REM. Dopamine joins softly, guiding curiosity, color, and emotion through the vastness of your inner ocean. These messengers are artists. They sketch images, sculpt feelings, and paint the invisible world you wander through. Each flicker of chemistry is a brushstroke across the canvas of your subconscious. Serotonin quiets for now, letting imagination run untethered, while noradrenaline fades to silence, ensuring fear remains distant. This is the mind's choreography of balance, an orchestra that plays only in darkness. Imagine these molecules as glowing creatures drifting around you. Some pulse like fireflies, others flow like jellyfish made of starlight. They move in gentle coordination, keeping you safe inside this sea of thought. Their dance is precise but effortless, as if they have always known the melody of rest. If the thought of this secret beauty feels soothing, you can tap like, not as a button, but as a quiet thank you to the brain that builds your peace each night. Then close your eyes again and let those glimmers continue their work. The water around you hums faintly with life. Every heartbeat sends a ripple outward. Every breath deepens the dream. And somewhere in the distance, emotion begins to rise like dawn beneath the waves. Have you ever wondered who writes the script of your dreams? Deep within the folds of your brain lies the quiet director, the limbic system. It doesn't speak in words or logic. It speaks in feelings, in colors, in symbols. When you close your eyes, it steps forward to guide the show, shaping stories from emotions you didn't even know were waiting to be told. The amygdala lights up first, glowing softly like a lantern in the dark. It sorts through your feelings, fear, joy, longing, and decides which will dance across the screen of your mind tonight. The hippocampus joins, pulling fragments of memory from the day, a voice, a scent, a passing thought. Together, they weave those threads into moments that feel real, yet impossible. You might find yourself standing in a place you've never been, beside someone you once loved, surrounded by light that makes no sense but feels true. The limbic system rehearses courage while you sleep. It lets you face what scares you in the safety of illusion. It lets you feel joy without reason, sorrow without consequence. This is emotional training in its gentlest form, therapy made of story and starlight. If this invisible artistry amazes you, you can press like right now. Think of it as sending a quiet nod of appreciation to the mind's own director. Then breathe and let the scene shift again. The next act is already being written, and it's waiting just beyond the edge of awareness. Have you ever woken up knowing something you didn't realize you'd learned? The mind never truly stops. It studies in silence, rehearsing every detail while the body rests. Deep within your sleeping brain, circuits replay the day like a gentle echo. Skills, sounds, patterns, and emotions are revisited in soft loops, each one polished until it becomes part of you. When you practice a song, a language, or a memory, the work doesn't end when you lie down. During sleep, neurons trace those same paths again, strengthening the bridges between them. It's as if the mind runs its own nighttime classroom, without effort, without noise, without stress. Every lesson is replayed through dreams, and every mistake is rewritten in calm light. REM is your secret tutor. It connects what you know with what you feel, turning scattered information into understanding. That's why musicians wake with melodies resolved, students remember answers they couldn't find, and thinkers glimpse clarity after rest. The mind learns best in kindness, and sleep is its gentlest teacher. If this quiet intelligence inspires you, take a breath and maybe tap subscribe to journey through more of these mysteries again. Each night, another layer of you grows stronger beneath the surface. Outside, the world continues unseen, but inside, your brain is alive with quiet motion. Every breath, every dream, every flicker of sleep is a lesson in patience. And as you drift deeper, the lessons of the day melt into wisdom that waits for morning light. Can you feel it? The gentle weightlessness beginning to take over? It's that delicate space where your body feels heavy, yet your thoughts begin to drift upward, light as mist. You are no longer fully awake, but not entirely gone. This is the sweet suspension of deep REM, where gravity loses its meaning, and you simply float inside yourself. Your heartbeat slows to match the rhythm of unseen tides. Blood flows differently here, smooth, effortless, quiet. Oxygen glides through your veins like silk, feeding every cell without demand. Scientists have measured this serenity. The brain's oxygen use rises slightly, not in tension, but in creativity. It's as if the mind, now freed from the body's noise, begins to play. You might notice your awareness swaying gently as if you're lying on calm waves. The edges of thought blur, colors shift softly. Every breath is an oar stroke into peace. This is where ideas begin to shimmer, unformed but alive, waiting for the morning to shape them. If this floating calm feels real to you, you can press like a small gesture, a shared heartbeat among dreamers who drift through the same stillness. It's a quiet way to let the algorithm of peace grow stronger. Then let your hand rest again and follow your breath inward. The currents will guide you deeper. You're safe within them. Each rise and fall of your chest is another wave passing, another reminder that you're not sinking. You're learning to swim through light. Imagine yourself drifting through a sea of light. Around you, the water isn't clear. It's painted with color that moves like breath. Hues shift and ripple as you glide through them. Deep indigo melting into emerald, then into soft gold. Each tone feels alive, pulsing in rhythm with your heartbeat. You reach out, and the colors fold gently around your hand like silk warmed by memory. This is what dreaming looks like from the inside. Each color is a signal, a pulse of thought turned into emotion. Blue for calm, violet for reflection, silver for peace. The brain, bathed in this kaleidoscope of chemistry, creates meaning without words. You're not observing anymore. You're part of it. The color, the current, the movement. You've become the dream itself. Somewhere in this shifting palette, a pattern begins to form. It feels familiar, though you've never seen it before. That's your subconscious painting its message, stroke by stroke, in liquid light. You drift closer, but it changes again, dissolving before you can understand. And that's the beauty of it. You don't need to. You only need to feel. If this vision makes you smile, you can like it. A simple spark of gratitude for the calm it brings. Then close your eyes again and let the color carry you forward. The deeper you go, the softer it becomes, until you're moving through light so gentle it feels like breathing. Every shade hums a note, and together they form a song only peace can sing. Have you ever heard someone say that dreams are nothing but noise, random sparks of a resting brain? It's a comforting idea for those who fear mystery, but science and experience whisper something softer, something truer. Dreams do mean something, not as prophecies, but as mirrors. They reflect your emotional weather, the quiet climate of your heart. Inside the sleeping mind, neurons replay the day's feelings, blending them with old memories. When you dream of falling, you might not be falling at all. You could be releasing control, letting go of something heavy. When you dream of flying, it might not be fantasy, but freedom taking form. Each symbol is a poem written by the body's language of emotion. The logic of waking life fades, replaced by intuition's gentle code. Brain scans reveal that the limbic system, where emotions live, glows most brightly during dreams. The rational prefrontal cortex rests, letting imagination speak freely. What rises isn't nonsense. It's meaning unfiltered by thought. Your subconscious becomes a storyteller, weaving together what words can't express. If you find comfort in that, if it feels right that your dreams are quiet messages from yourself, you can tap like as a way of saying, I'm listening. Then breathe deeply and allow those meanings to ripple through you, unforced and unhurried. Dreams are the whispers of the mind when the noise of the world has finally gone silent. And in that silence, you find truth, soft, honest, and beautifully human. Have you ever woken with an idea so clear it felt like a gift? The mind, even while asleep, keeps creating, quietly sketching connections between thoughts that never touched before. Down in the soft pulse of REM, imagination becomes boundless. Freed from logic, the brain begins to play, rearranging what you know into what you've never seen. Scientists call this associative thinking. It's how dreams invent. During sleep, your default mode network, the part that wanders and wonders, glows with activity. Old memories spark against new ones, and suddenly, a melody, a solution, or a story is born. The double helix of DNA, Einstein's insights, surrealist art, all kissed by the same quiet spark of night creativity. In dreams, there are no deadlines, no fear of failure. You can paint with the colors of sound, build with the bricks of feeling. Your mind is both the artist and the canvas. When you wake, some of that magic lingers, the faint afterglow of boundless imagination. Many never notice it, but it's there, waiting to be shaped into something real. If you're still drifting in this space between thought and wonder, you can press like, a soft acknowledgement that your mind is infinite even at rest. Let it remind you that every night holds the seed of creation, that even silence can give birth to brilliance. And as you breathe, feel that subtle spark flicker behind your eyes. The same light that dreams in you tonight will guide you toward something beautiful tomorrow. If you can still hear the hush around you, it means you've reached the deep middle of this journey, the part where sound, science, and stillness become one. You're floating now, carried by rhythm and breath, while your mind continues its gentle work beneath the surface. And if this calm feels like home, you can take a slow breath, open your eyes just long enough to subscribe, and then drift back down again. Think of it not as a click, but as a whisper, a soft promise to return to these quiet oceans of thought. Each night, we'll travel deeper together, exploring the beauty of the mind at rest. If you'd like, you can also comment below. Share your favorite dream fact or the feeling that stayed with you tonight. Every comment becomes a ripple that helps someone else find their way into peace. You might never meet them, but your words will float beside theirs, glowing softly like lanterns over dark water. In this stillness, connection feels different. It doesn't shout, it hums. You, me, and countless others breathing in time, letting curiosity and calm intertwine. The ocean of sleep is wide, but it's warmer when shared. So breathe once more, slow and deep. Let gratitude drift through your chest. You are part of something vast and quiet, a constellation of calm minds dreaming beneath the same sky. And somewhere above, the next wave of wonder is waiting to carry you further in. Imagine yourself drifting downward through layers of endless blue. The water grows darker, not with fear, but with peace. You are nearing the quietest place inside yourself, the ocean floor of the mind. Down here, everything moves slowly. The currents are soft, the pressure comforting, the silence complete. This is where deep sleep takes over, where the body restores and the brain begins to cleanse itself in stillness. Scientists call it the glymphatic flow, a gentle tide that washes through your brain while you dream, clearing away the remnants of thought and fatigue. It is as if the mind has its own ocean current, carrying away what you no longer need and leaving behind clarity. Every pulse of your heartbeat sends another soft wave through that inner sea. At the bottom, the world feels weightless. Time doesn't move here, it breathes. There are no sounds, no edges, no stories, just the deep hum of being. The brain's slow rhythms echo through you, lulling every part of your body into harmony. You have arrived at the truest rest, the silence beneath all noise. If you've made it this far, if you're floating here with me in the calm, you can comment water or whisper a thought before you drift away. It's a gentle sign that you found the peace hidden at the bottom of your mind. Now let go completely. Let the last bubbles of thought rise to the surface and disappear. Down here in the quiet deep, you are safe, whole, and free. Have you ever wondered how your mind builds a world while you sleep? It begins quietly with a spark, an image, a sound, a feeling. Deep in the brain's visual and memory centers, neurons begin to glow like tiny architects switching on their lamps. They start to draw not with lines or blueprints, but with sensation. A wall becomes a sound, a color becomes air, and space itself begins to form around you. In this invisible studio, your mind uses the materials of memory. A hallway from childhood, the scent of rain, the echo of a voice you once knew, all combine to create new places that feel familiar yet impossible. You may find yourself walking through a house that never existed or standing in a landscape both strange and safe. It is art made from fragments, a masterpiece built in silence. Every night, this hidden architect returns to work. The dream begins as a sketch, then swells into color and motion. The more you relax, the more detailed the world becomes, until you're no longer a visitor, but a resident of your own imagination. If this thought fills you with awe, take a breath, and maybe press like to leave a small trace of wonder behind. Each tap, like each dream, builds something unseen yet lasting. The blueprint is complete now, the world ready for you to enter. Somewhere inside, a door opens on its own, and you step gently into the space your mind has built for peace. Close your eyes and imagine a world being built around you, not by hands, but by senses. These are the brain's quiet craftsmen, the sensory carpenters who shape your dreams. They take the sounds you've heard, the scents you've known, the warmth of sunlight, the chill of rain, and rebuild them into the architecture of night. Each sense becomes a tool, each memory a beam of light placed carefully in the dark. The auditory cortex hums first, adding soft echoes to the scene. You might hear water dripping, wind passing through unseen trees, or a familiar voice whispering without words. The olfactory center joins next, painting the air with the faint scent of rain or paper or someone's perfume. Touch follows, textures of silk, sand, or skin. The dream doesn't ask your permission. It simply begins, using the palette of your life to craft something entirely new. It's astonishing, really, how the mind can weave such richness from nothing but memory. It's a kind of magic that happens every night, unseen and effortless. You don't command it, you surrender to it, and it creates beauty in your stillness. If you can almost feel this world forming, drifting gently around you, press like to keep it glowing for others who wander these calm spaces. Then breathe again, slow and deep, and let your senses continue their quiet work. The dream is expanding now, layer by layer. The sound deepens, the air thickens, and somewhere beyond the edge of thought, emotion begins to shape the next design. Have you ever seen a stranger in your dream? Someone you've never met, but somehow recognize? Every night, your mind builds faces from fragments, weaving together eyes you once glanced at, smiles you've forgotten, the tilt of a stranger's head on a passing street. The brain is an artist with a billion memories at its fingertips. It doesn't invent from nothing. It collages from everything. Deep in the fusiform gyrus where recognition lives, neurons spark like quiet lightning. They gather the subtle pieces of people you've known, the curve of a friend's mouth, the color of an old teacher's eyes, the posture of someone you loved. All are mixed together, reshaped into someone new, familiar enough to feel safe, different enough to remain mysterious. That's why dream faces glow with both comfort and distance. They're mosaics of your own human story. Sometimes these faces speak. Sometimes they only look back at you as if asking a question you can't quite hear. They're not ghosts or messages. They're reflections, living portraits made from memory and meaning. And when you wake, they dissolve like watercolor under sunlight, leaving behind only a feeling. If this wonder of the mind makes you smile, press like, a quiet nod to the invisible artist painting behind your eyes. Then close them again and imagine those faces drifting away, soft as fog. New ones will appear soon, waiting in the next scene, each one drawn from the fragments of your heart, each one reminding you that even in dreams, you are surrounded by echoes of connection. Have you ever realized that your dreams tell stories all on their own? You never planned the plot, yet one unfolds, mysterious, emotional, strangely complete. Deep inside your resting brain, the storyteller awakens. It takes the pieces of memory, sound, and feeling gathered by your senses and begins to weave them into a narrative that makes emotional sense, even if it defies logic. The prefrontal cortex, the part that edits and analyzes, steps back now, allowing creativity to take the lead. Without judgment, your imagination begins to spin. Scenes blend into one another, time loops softly. What matters is not sequence, but emotion. The dream is writing itself, guided by the limbic system's steady pulse of feeling. You might find yourself running towards something that keeps changing shape, or speaking to someone whose face you can't hold on to. Every element of the dream adjusts itself like fabric in a slow wind, forming patterns that express what words cannot. It's not randomness, it's self-expression without rules. The story is simply your mind breathing. If you find beauty in that, take a moment. Breathe, smile, and perhaps press like, a gentle thank you to the inner storyteller who works while you sleep. Then sink back into the narrative. It's still unfolding quietly around you. Dreams are how the brain practices imagination, empathy, and courage all at once. And as the storyteller continues, each scene blends into the next with the smooth grace of thought itself, carrying you deeper into meaning, wrapped in mystery. Isn't it amazing how your mind builds entire worlds while you sleep? Cathedrals of thought, oceans of feeling, whole skies of color, constructed effortlessly by the same quiet rhythm that keeps your heart beating. As you drift deeper, neurons spark like stars, each connection a beam shaping the architecture of imagination. There is no blueprint here, only trust. Your mind knows how to create beauty even when you're not watching. Brain waves rise and fall like hammers on invisible stone. They shape patterns, textures, landscapes that mean something only to you. The REM rhythm is steady, a heartbeat that hums through the dream's foundation. You might walk through a hall made of sound or touch walls woven from laughter. Every detail feels purposeful, and yet, when you try to hold it, it melts back into light. That's the gift of dreaming. It builds and releases at once. If you love that your mind can build peace from nothing, press like right now. It's a quiet celebration, a ripple of wonder shared across this soft community of dreamers. Each like is another lantern in this invisible gallery of calm. You don't have to understand how it all works. Just feel it, the pulse beneath the silence, the quiet construction of serenity. Somewhere behind your closed eyes, your brain is still working with care, shaping the perfect room for rest. The walls glow faintly, the air hums, and you are already home inside your own creation. Have you ever wondered why people across the world dream of the same things? Of falling, of flying, of running through endless corridors? Across languages, borders, and time, humanity shares a common architecture of dreaming. It's as though we were all drawing from the same invisible map, passed down quietly through generations. Our minds may speak different words, but in sleep they hum in unison. Anthropologists have listened to stories of dreams from deserts, mountains, and islands and found the same symbols repeated again and again. A staircase that never ends, a light that can't be reached, a voice calling from far away. These are not coincidences. They're the shared shapes of human emotion, fear, hope, freedom, love, universal patterns written into the deep folds of our brains. Dreams are how the species remembers itself. The flying dream isn't just personal, it's the memory of every ancestor who looked at the sky and longed to rise. The falling dream isn't failure, it's the rehearsal of trust, the body reminding itself that it will always wake safe. Sleep binds us all with the thread of imagination. If you feel that connection, if it comforts you to know that your dreams link you to everyone who's ever lived, you can press like, a quiet nod to the shared wonder that unites us all. Then close your eyes again and drift back into that heritage of vision. You are not alone here. Somewhere, someone else dreams the same dream tonight, breathing in rhythm with you beneath the same patient stars. Picture yourself walking through a city made of memory and light. The streets glow faintly like reflections on still water, and every step you take sends a ripple through the quiet. The buildings rise slowly, shimmering as if they're breathing. They're not built of stone, but of thoughts, familiar ones, faint echoes from the day reshaped into calm geometry. The air feels weightless here. You can hear soft music drifting from somewhere unseen, blending with the hush of wind between dream towers. The lights in each window flicker to the rhythm of your heartbeat. You look closer and realize the city is alive. It's you. Every path, every bridge, every glimmering reflection is made from your own experiences, your emotions gently crystallized into architecture. You turn a corner and find a bridge of golden glass stretching over an endless calm sea. The water below glows with faces and places you've loved. They smile, fade, and return again, gentle as waves. The city hums in harmony around you, each sound matching your breathing, each color syncing with your pulse. If this calm vision makes you feel at peace, take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and press like. Think of it as lighting one more window in this dream city, a signal of quiet gratitude glowing across the skyline. The path ahead narrows, soft and silver. You keep walking, not to reach an ending, but to stay within the beauty of becoming. And the city keeps unfolding, one slow heartbeat at a time. Have you ever had a dream so vivid that when it echoed in real life, it felt like prophecy? People have always wondered if dreams can tell the future. Ancient rulers sought guidance in them. Poets wrote them as omens. And even now, a small part of us hopes that a dream might be a message sent ahead of time. But science, in its calm and patient voice, reminds us of something gentler. The future doesn't hide in dreams. Understanding does. When you sleep, your brain isn't predicting what will happen. It's rehearsing how to feel when it does. The subconscious takes what you've seen, feared, and wished for, then rearranges it into scenarios to prepare your heart. If you dream of losing something, it's not fate. It's your mind practicing acceptance. If you dream of finding something wonderful, it's hope, quietly strengthening your spirit. Neuroscientists see this in the patterns of memory and emotion that light up during REM. The brain draws from the past to imagine possibilities, not prophecies. And still, the magic remains. It isn't about prediction, but reflection. Dreams show us who we are becoming, not what's waiting to happen. If that brings you peace, you can press like, a soft acknowledgement that mystery doesn't need answers to be beautiful. Then breathe again and let this truth settle. The future is not written in your dreams, but your courage to face it often is. And as the dream deepens, your heart learns that knowing isn't the goal. Trusting the journey is. If you're still here, drifting with me through this city of dreams, that means you've found the rhythm. Slow, gentle, endless. The buildings of thought shimmer around you. The air glows softly with calm. And in this stillness, connection feels effortless. We're walking together through the same quiet streets of imagination, sharing a peace that doesn't need words. You can take a slow breath with me now, the kind that fills the lungs with calm and empties the mind of noise. And if this space feels safe, you can tap subscribe, not as a task, but as a ritual, a promise to return to this dream world again. It's a doorway you can always reopen when the night feels heavy. And if a particular dream fact or moment lingered with you, you can comment below. Share your favorite image, your calmest thought. Each comment glows like a window in this collective dream city. Somewhere, someone will see it and realize they are not alone in their sleepless wonder. The world outside moves quickly, but here we move at the speed of breath. Thousands of quiet minds listening, breathing, and finding stillness together. You're part of that now, a thread in the fabric of calm. The dream city hums softly beneath us, alive with gratitude. Every heartbeat echoes through its luminous streets, and every word you leave here becomes part of its gentle light. Imagine a vast cathedral rising slowly within your mind, its arches woven from silence, its windows glowing with soft light that never fades. This is the final structure your dreaming brain builds tonight, the Cathedral of Sleep. Here, every thought becomes a beam of color, every emotion a ray of gold. You walk through it without footsteps, surrounded by air that hums like a hymn made of calm. The walls are alive with rhythm, each one expands and contracts gently with your breath. Between the pillars, you can feel your REM cycles passing like slow tides, each one longer, each one deeper than the last. The body lies perfectly still, But the mind moves through this sacred space with purpose, restoring, repairing, renewing. There is no sound of clocks here, no trace of time. The only movement is your heartbeat echoing softly through vaulted air, a reminder that even in surrender, life continues its quiet song. Every neuron glows like candlelight, and the darkness itself feels kind. If this vision of rest feels beautiful to you, take a breath and tap, like a tiny spark of gratitude that joins countless others, each one a candle flickering inside the shared cathedral of calm. Stay here a little longer. Let the stillness fill every corner of you. And when the final bell rings, it won't wake you. It will simply open the next door, leading you deeper into peace. Have you ever felt lighter after waking from a dream that made you cry? It's as if the night itself listened, held your sorrow for a while, and handed it back softer. Inside the mind, something sacred unfolds, dreams becoming the therapist you never have to ask for. While you sleep, your brain replays the day's emotions, bathing them in chemical calm until they lose their sharpness. In REM, the body releases noradrenaline, the hormone of alertness. Without it, your heart rate slows, and the mind is free to revisit pain safely. Old memories return, but they don't sting as before. They drift like echoes through warm air. The brain doesn't erase them. It rewrites them with compassion. Each replay is a soft rehearsal for peace. Scientists describe this as emotional regulation. Poets might call it healing. Your dreams are therapy written in color, guiding the heart to breathe again after long days of noise. Every image, every strange scene, every whisper of a feeling you can't name, they all have purpose. They are your mind's way of saying, you're safe now. If that thought comforts you, take a slow breath. Let your body sink deeper into stillness and maybe press like to mark this quiet realization. It's your small candle in the dark, your way of saying thank you to the self that keeps you whole. The session isn't over yet. The mind continues its gentle work, transforming tension into understanding, sadness into rest, and silence into peace. Have you ever noticed how, after a long day, your first deep sleep feels like a sigh that never ends? That's your body letting go, not just of exhaustion, but of emotion. During the night, a quiet cleansing begins. The brain's glymphatic system flows like a hidden river, washing through every thought and corner of memory. Waste molecules fade away, and so do fragments of stress that clung to your mind through the day. It's an emotional detox written in biology. As your neurons rest, cerebrospinal fluid pulses through your brain, carrying away what no longer serves you. It's a kind of mercy, gentle, patient, always working without needing your permission. You dream as this current moves through you, mixing science with something close to grace. Imagine this process like soft rain falling inside your head. Each drop loosens a thought that was too heavy, a worry that overstayed its welcome. They dissolve into the flow, disappearing without drama. When you wake, the mind feels clearer, not because it forgot, but because it has been cleansed. If you feel that weight lifting even now, you can press like a small acknowledgement that healing doesn't always roar. It often whispers. Then exhale slowly and imagine your thoughts becoming lighter. This is the gift of rest. The body repairs what the heart cannot name. Every breath is a tide, every heartbeat a wave, every moment of stillness another piece of peace returning home. Have you ever woken with a smile you couldn't explain? A trace of laughter, a lightness that doesn't belong to morning but to something deeper. That's the echo of joy born in dreams. Even while the body rests, the brain continues to feel, only more freely, more playfully, without the weight of reason holding it back. In the theater of REM, happiness becomes art. The same circuits that spark when you laugh during the day shimmer again as you sleep, replaying the sensations of comfort and connection. The mind rehearses delight, reminding you what it feels like to be alive. These moments are rare gifts, unplanned, pure, and healing. Scientists have found that joy-filled dreams balance mood, raising serotonin and quieting fear. They are the gentle medicine your subconscious prescribes when the world grows too heavy. Sometimes this joy appears as flight, sometimes as reunion, sometimes as simple warmth in a place that doesn't exist. The details don't matter, the feeling does. In sleep, joy doesn't need a reason, it simply is. If this quiet happiness reaches you now, breathe it in. Let it fill your chest like sunlight under your ribs. You can press like as a way to share that warmth with unseen dreamers who might need it tonight. Then let your eyes rest again, knowing that somewhere inside, your mind is still smiling. Because even when the world is dark, your dreams remember how to glow. And in that light, joy finds you again. Have you ever woken from a nightmare and realized it didn't hurt as much as it used to? That's not coincidence. It's healing. The brain doesn't erase fear, it rehearses bravery. While you sleep, your subconscious revisits the feelings that frightened you. But in the gentle safety of imagination, it's called extinction learning, the slow, kind process of teaching your heart that it's safe again. Inside REM, your amygdala, the guardian of fear, glows softly but not in alarm. It's practicing calm. The images that once triggered panic are replayed, but this time, your body stays still, your breath steady. You face shadows without running, monsters without trembling. Every cycle of REM smooths the sharp edges of memory until what terrified you becomes simply a story. This is your mind's therapy room, lit not by harsh lights, but by the glow of courage. It knows that to truly release fear, you must feel it one last time, without consequence, without pain. So it shows you gently what can no longer harm you. When you wake, you carry that quiet strength into the day without even realizing it. If that truth feels comforting, you can press like a simple heartbeat of gratitude for your own resilience. Then close your eyes again and rest in the knowledge that your dreams are teaching you peace. Fear doesn't vanish in sleep, it transforms. And every time you drift into darkness and rise again, you prove that light was never gone. It was waiting inside you, learning how to shine softly. Have you ever opened your eyes and felt as if something invisible had lifted from your chest? That weight you didn't notice carrying all day, suddenly gone. It's the quiet miracle of the night doing its work. As you sleep, the mind sorts through shadows and untangles knots you couldn't reach awake. You wake not because everything is solved, but because everything inside has been given room to breathe again. Your body remembers this feeling. Muscles unclench. The heartbeat moves slower like a calm drum echoing in a large empty hall. Even your thoughts stretch, realizing they have space again. It's not magic, it's the chemistry of balance. After deep sleep, serotonin rises, tension hormones fade, and the nervous system whispers its favorite word, peace. Sometimes the mind doesn't need grand answers. It just needs to rest long enough for the noise to fade. You might not recall the dreams that healed you, but the proof is here, in this stillness, in the way morning feels kinder. If you've ever felt that lightness, that quiet restart of the soul, you can press like now a soft gesture, a little nod to the unseen work happening while you rest. Each like is a flicker of recognition, a shared exhale among dreamers who know that healing rarely makes a sound. Breathe once more and let that ease linger. The night isn't over. It's simply showing you how to float again. Have you ever felt kindness inside a dream? Someone's smile, a comforting hand, a quiet moment of understanding. Those emotions are not illusions. They are the mind's way of rehearsing connection. While your body sleeps, your brain continues its most human work, empathy. In the deep chambers of REM, the mirror neurons, the same ones that let you feel others' emotions during the day, glow softly. They replay gestures of care, voices of reassurance, even forgiveness you haven't yet given. The brain practices compassion and safety, building emotional muscle without the weight of consequence. You might not remember the details, but you'll wake more open, more gentle, more able to see others clearly. Dreams allow you to experience empathy without limits. You can be anyone, anywhere, feel any life for a fleeting heartbeat. The stories you live there dissolve at dawn, but the understanding stays. Every kind act in your dreams strengthens the neural pathways of kindness. Your heart, even at rest, keeps learning how to love. If that truth touches something inside you, take a slow breath and maybe press like as a quiet thank you to the mind that keeps teaching you how to care. It's not about algorithms, it's about acknowledgement of the grace working in silence each night. When you wake tomorrow, notice how soft the world feels. That's the dream's gift lingering in daylight, a tenderness born from starlit rehearsal, carrying you gently into every new day. Have you ever woken from a nightmare, heart racing, certain that something was wrong, only to feel lighter a few minutes later? Many believe nightmares are harmful, that they disturb sleep and steal peace. But the truth is softer, wiser. Nightmares are not punishments. They are protection. They are your mind's way of saying, let me hold the fear for you tonight, so it doesn't follow you tomorrow. Inside your sleeping brain, the amygdala and hippocampus work together like healers. They bring forward the memories that scare you, not to torment you, but to help you face them in safety. The stress hormone noradrenaline is quiet during REM, meaning your heart can relive fear without physical panic. Each nightmare becomes a small rehearsal for courage, a simulation of chaos that ends in calm. Researchers have seen that people who process trauma through dreams often heal faster. The nightmares lessen, not because they vanish, but because they've done their job. Like storms that clear the air, they leave the mind cleaner, the sky wider. So if you've ever feared the dark corners of your dreams, breathe now and forgive them. You can even press like a small gesture of gratitude for the strength your mind builds while you rest. Even your worst dreams work in your favor. The night doesn't hurt you, it heals you in ways daylight cannot. And as the last shadow fades, what remains is calm, steady light. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet river under moonlight. The water glows gold, not bright, but soft, like melted sunlight remembered from another day. The surface moves slowly, each ripple a heartbeat, each wave a breath. You step closer and feel the warmth of the current wrapping around your feet. It isn't cold or deep. It's welcoming, weightless, alive. This is the golden river of calm, the stream that flows through every dreamer's mind when peace begins to return. Each drop carries away the leftover worries of the day. Each shimmer dissolves a thought that no longer belongs to you. As you step in, the water rises gently to your knees, your chest, your heart. You float effortlessly, carried by motion that feels older than time. There is no destination here. The river doesn't rush, it remembers. It moves in the rhythm of forgiveness, washing away small regrets, fears, and fragments of doubt. You are both the traveler and the tide. You breathe in the gold light and breathe out everything heavy. If you can feel that calm settling over you, you can press like a soft gesture, as if you were tossing a golden leaf into the current. Then let your hand rest again. The river will keep flowing without help, carrying you deeper into its quiet. Somewhere downstream, the water begins to glow brighter, and you realize it isn't just light. It's your own peace, reflected back at you, shining softly in the dark. If you're still drifting here, floating along the golden river of calm, that means your mind has learned to rest. You've crossed through the shadows, through emotion, through release, and now you are glowing quietly from within. In this stillness, you can feel your heartbeat syncing with the rhythm of the water, your breath blending with the soft sound of the current. This is connection, both with yourself and with every other dreamer listening right now. If this calm feels right, you can subscribe, not as a click, but as a gentle promise to return. Each new night will be another journey through science and serenity, another soft reminder that rest is not escape, it's renewal. And if any dream, any fact, or any feeling stayed with you tonight, you can comment below. Share it like a lantern released into the stream. Your words might help someone else find the same stillness you feel right now. The world outside keeps moving, rushing, demanding, but here, time slows down. Here, breathing is enough. Every comment becomes a ripple of kindness. Every shared thought becomes a reflection of peace. You are part of something larger than silence, an ocean of quiet hearts learning to heal together. So breathe once more, softly. Let gratitude flow through you like light in water. The river keeps moving, and so does peace, ever forward, ever gentle, carrying us all toward the dawn of rest. Listen closely. Beneath the hush of sleep, beneath even your breathing, there is a rhythm, the quiet heartbeat of the night. It is steady, patient, eternal. You might think it's only your own pulse, but it's more than that. It's the sound of the world resting beside you. Somewhere, oceans move in time with your breath. Somewhere, another heart beats in sync with yours. The universe, vast and endless, hums in quiet harmony. During your deepest REM, your body and mind align perfectly. The heart's rhythm slows to its most peaceful pace, and brain waves pulse in gentle waves that match. This harmony isn't an accident. It's a lullaby written into your biology. Every beat carries oxygen and memory, healing and renewal. Each thump is a small reminder you are alive and the night is kind. If you close your eyes, you might even feel it, a soft echo behind your ribs, steady and warm. It's not loud, not urgent, just constant. The pulse of peace, the sound of survival wrapped in calm. If you can feel that rhythm now, You can press like a small acknowledgement of the life quietly moving through you and the calm holding you close. Let the gesture be a breath, nothing more. The night continues its song, soft and unbroken. And as you drift deeper into that pulse, remember, every heartbeat is a word in the universe's oldest poem. You are safe, you are loved, you are home. Somewhere far above your sleeping mind, light is beginning to move. It doesn't rush, it spreads slowly, gently, like a sigh across the horizon. The first rays of consciousness arrive the same way. They touch your thought like dawn touches water, turning darkness into soft color. Inside you, chemistry stirs, cortisol rising, serotonin blooming. Your brain begins to warm, and the world quietly leans closer. You're not fully awake yet. You're suspended between two kinds of peace, the stillness of dreaming and the calm clarity of morning. Neurons hum with faint excitement, sending messages through drowsy pathways. The senses begin to open one by one. The air feels a little cooler. Your heartbeat grows curious. Somewhere in the distance, sound begins to shape itself into meaning again. This is the mind's way of saying, thank you. It has traveled through storms of thought, through fear, through wonder, and now returns with treasures polished by rest. The first rays of waking consciousness do not erase the dream, they illuminate it. What was once shadowed becomes beautiful. Again, clear and kind. If this slow rising feels familiar, you can tap like, not as an action, but as acknowledgement of the small miracle unfolding within you. Then breathe deeply, letting the air fill you with quiet warmth. The world is waiting, but there's no rush to meet it. The light will find you in its own time, gentle as a promise, soft as a beginning. The mind wakes slowly, like a hand reaching for a dream that's almost gone. For a few delicate seconds, you stand between two worlds, the one you built in sleep and the one returning with daylight. Images linger like mist, a face, a color, a sentence you can almost recall. These are the night's stories, fading even as you try to hold them. Memory at dawn is fragile. Your prefrontal cortex, the keeper of logic and words, has just begun to stir, trying to translate the language of emotion into thought. That's why dreams dissolve so quickly. They are feelings written in symbols. And when daylight comes, those symbols vanish into meaning too deep for words. Still, their echoes stay behind. They whisper into your choices, your moods, your quiet moments of reflection. You may not remember the story, but the story remembers you. If you wish to keep a piece of it, stay still. Don't move yet. Let your breathing remain soft, your eyes closed. Replay what you can, like rewinding a delicate film before it burns away. Each image you recall is a message rescued from the tides of sleep. And if you've ever woken carrying a dream that felt precious, you can press, like as a tiny ritual of remembrance, a way of saying, I was there. The night leaves gifts for those who listen quietly. Some fade, some stay forever. All become part of who you are becoming. Have you noticed how the first few minutes after waking can feel sacred? The world is quiet, the light is soft, and your mind, still half dreaming, hums with a calm you can almost touch. This isn't just mood, it's chemistry. After a full cycle of sleep, your body hums in perfect balance. Heart rate low, breathing steady, hormones aligned like notes in a gentle chord. The parasympathetic system, the body's calm conductor, still holds the baton. It keeps your pulse slow even as daylight rises. That's why the morning feels so kind. It's the echo of the night's deep harmony. Blood pressure remains low, brain waves drift just above theta, and serotonin begins to bloom like soft light under your ribs. The body remembers peace before it remembers the day. Scientists call this moment sleep inertia, a temporary haze, but to the soul, it's more than that. It's grace, a pause between worlds where nothing is required of you but breath. If you honor it, if you don't rush to screens or sound, you can stretch that calm into the hours ahead. You can carry it like quiet armor against the noise of the world. If you feel that peace now, stay in it a little longer. Maybe press, like as a small thank you to your body for this daily gift. It's your way of acknowledging the miracle of stillness within motion, of light rising inside as the world begins to glow again. Have you ever carried a feeling from a dream into your morning, a sense of courage, love, or calm that lingers like perfume on the skin? That emotion is more than residue, it's guidance. The dreaming brain doesn't end when you wake. It leaves behind threads, asking you to weave them into the fabric of your day. In REM, your mind rehearses emotions, teaching you how to navigate life without fear. When you wake, those lessons don't disappear. They wait quietly beneath thought, ready to become instinct. A dream of forgiveness softens your next conversation. A dream of flight inspires a small act of bravery. A dream of peace makes your first breath of morning feel like grace. This is how emotion becomes action. Through subtle translation, the same neural pathways that glowed with color during dreams now guide your waking choices. It's a language of feeling turned into doing. Every sunrise completes the sentence, your subconscious began in darkness. So when you wake tomorrow and feel lighter, stronger, or suddenly inspired, trust that it isn't random. It's your inner world shaping your outer one. It's proof that even in rest, you've been growing. If that thought warms you, take a deep breath, maybe press like, and let that emotion settle in your chest. The dream is over, but its meaning has just begun. The night planted seeds. The day lets them bloom. Have you ever opened your eyes and smiled before remembering why? That fleeting joy, the one that arrives without reason, is a message from the night. It's your brain's way of saying, you did well while you rested. All the tiny repairs, all the gentle rehearsals, all the quiet healing, complete. The body knows before the mind does. That first smile is proof. Your chemistry reflects it too. Dopamine stirs softly like sunlight through curtains. Endorphins hum beneath your skin, making everything feel lighter. The same circuits that danced in your dreams of wonder or comfort are still glowing, slowly fading as you return to daylight. For a few sacred seconds, you are standing between two worlds, dream peace and waking possibility, and your heart recognizes both. You don't need to chase that feeling. Let it bloom and fade naturally like the golden edge of dawn. But if it lingers, if you feel it now, you can press like a simple, smiling acknowledgement that happiness doesn't need explanation. It's your soul stretching, saying hello to the day. That tiny moment of joy carries power. It sets the emotional weather of your morning, shapes your kindness, opens your eyes to small beauties you might have missed. The mind that smiled in sleep continues to smile awake. So stay in that softness a little longer. Let your first thought be gratitude, your first breath, peace. Morning is not a beginning. It's a continuation of the dream. lit by sunlight. Somewhere right now, millions of people are waking up with you. Different rooms, different skies, the same slow light spilling across faces and floors. The world turns gently, and for a brief moment, every heartbeat sinks in rhythm. A shared dawn that hums beneath language, beneath distance. You breathe, and someone on the other side of the planet breathes with you. Together, you welcome the same sun. This is more than poetry, it's biology. Circadian rhythms link every living thing on Earth to the same pulse of light and shadow. Plants open, oceans shimmer, and within each person, cells shift from rest to readiness in harmony with the rising day. It's a choreography older than thought, a collective inhale of life. Dreams dissolve in different tongues, but awakening sounds the same everywhere. A sigh, a stretch, the soft murmur of renewal. We rise not as separate souls, but as threads in one vast fabric woven from heartbeat and hope. Even when you feel alone, you're never truly waking alone. Somewhere, someone shares your rhythm. If that realization feels beautiful, take a slow breath. Maybe press like, a quiet signal of belonging. Each gentle tap joins countless others in this shared orchestra of calm. The sun continues its slow sweep, touching faces, hands, hearts, and as light spreads, connection deepens. Morning reminds us of what dreams already knew, that peace is never personal, it's universal, glowing softly in all of us. You've heard the saying, the early bird gets the worm, as if happiness belonged only to those who wake before dawn. But the truth is far gentler, far more personal. Joy isn't tied to the clock. It's tuned to your rhythm. The body has its own music, and peace comes when you move in time with it, not when you rush to match someone else's tempo. Scientists have studied this for years. What truly matters isn't when you rise, but how consistent your rising is. The body loves patterns, steady cycles of light and rest. Wake at your own natural time, and hormones align like a well-tuned orchestra. Cortisol, serotonin, melatonin all follow your unique symphony. Early or late doesn't define well-being, harmony does. Some people bloom in morning light, others find creativity in midnight quiet. Neither is wrong. The sun doesn't compare the flowers, it just shines, and they open when they're ready. Your rhythm, too, has its own wisdom. So release the guilt of hours and expectations. The happiest moments come not from alarms, but from alignment, from knowing your body's quiet truth and honoring it. If that freedom feels like a breath of relief, you can press like, a soft acknowledgement that peace belongs to your pace. Then exhale slowly, feeling the kindness of your own timing. The world moves in cycles, not schedules. And no matter when you wake, happiness will still find you, rising gently in its own perfect time. Imagine lying in the soft hush before morning. Your body is still wrapped in warmth, your mind floating in the last shimmer of dream. Through your closed eyelids, light begins to bloom. Slow, golden, kind. It doesn't command, it invites. The world beyond your lashes is brightening, but here, in this moment, time feels infinite. You breathe in, and the air feels new. You breathe out, and the night finally lets go. The light spreads through you like water through silk. It touches your face, your hands, your heart. Each ray feels alive, humming softly against your skin. You're not waking quickly, you're unfolding, petal by petal, toward awareness. The body responds with quiet grace. Melatonin eases back, cortisol stirs gently, and your pulse begins to rise in rhythm with the growing light. Your cells are listening. They recognize dawn before your eyes. even open. Morning is a conversation between your body and the sky. You can stay here as long as you like. No rush, no noise, just the gradual return of the world. And if this softness feels like peace, you can press. Like a quiet affirmation of how gentle beginnings can be. It's your way of saying, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm waking slowly. Now, open your eyes in your mind's own time. Let the light meet you where you are. The day begins not with movement, but with awareness. Each breath, a small sunrise within. If you're still here, resting in this quiet glow of morning light, that means your heart has learned the rhythm of peace. You've drifted through the science of sleep, the poetry of dreams, and the soft wonder of awakening. And if these moments have made your breathing slower, your thoughts lighter, your world a little softer, you belong here. This space was made for calm minds like yours. You can take a deep breath with me now. Let it fill you with warmth, like sunlight pouring through a window. And if you'd like to keep traveling through these dream-lit journeys, you can subscribe. A promise to return, not out of habit, but out of care. Each video becomes another night's quiet companion, another reminder that rest can be beautiful. You can also comment below, share your favorite dream fact, or the feeling that stayed with you tonight. Every comment becomes part of a shared sunrise, a gentle constellation of calm voices rising together. Someone else might read your words in the dark and find their way back to light. This isn't just a video, it's a community of breath, rhythm, and kindness. And by being here, you've added to it. So breathe once more. Let gratitude hum through your chest. The night has passed, the light is rising, and you are part of the glow. Every sunrise begins within, and now the night exhales. The long river of dreams runs quietly into morning, leaving behind golden traces on your thoughts. The world outside is stirring, but inside you there is still calm, the kind that only sleep can build. You've traveled through oceans of imagination, through memory, through silence, and returned whole. The light after dreams feels different. It doesn't dazzle, it embraces. As awareness fully blooms, your heartbeat syncs with the rhythm of daylight. The body stretches gently, the mind gathers itself like soft fabric folded after use. Everything that needed healing has found its rhythm again. Your brain, freshly rinsed and rewired, hums with balance. You're not waking from escape, you're waking renewed. Take a moment here. Let the gratitude settle. The night didn't vanish. It transformed into the light now touching your skin. What you carried into sleep has been reshaped into clarity. The lessons, the feelings, the small truths from your dreams, they travel with you, invisible but real. If you can feel that warmth, that stillness glowing inside, press like, a small token of thanks for the quiet gift of rest. The world may call you awake, but you know better. This peace doesn't end with morning. It continues, gentle and sure, beneath every step you'll take today. Open your eyes when you're ready. The light isn't here to pull you from your dream. It's here to walk beside it. Because even in daylight, the calm of night remains within you. And so the journey ends where it quietly began, with breath. You've drifted through the science of sleep, the wonder of dreams, the soft alchemy of healing, and the glow of awakening. What began as stillness became story, then silence again. Every heartbeat, every image, every fact was a lantern guiding you deeper into peace. The mind has wandered far, but it has brought you home, to yourself. The night once vast and mysterious, has shown its kindness. It held your worries, rewrote your fears, and painted your thoughts with calm light. You have felt the ocean of the brain move beneath you, learned how it cleanses, how it remembers, how it dreams. You floated through its colors, listened to its heartbeat, and woken with its quiet wisdom. Morning arrives, but it doesn't erase the dream. It extends it. The same calm that held you through the dark now hums softly in the daylight, an invisible rhythm within your chest. You carry the night's gentleness wherever you go. It will remind you to breathe, to pause, to marvel, to rest. If your heart feels lighter now, you can press, like as a final whisper of gratitude, a way of saying, I made it to the end, and I am calm. Then close your eyes once more, not to sleep, but to remember how peace feels. The journey is complete, yet never finished. Every night, the story begins again, with one breath, one heartbeat, one dream waiting to be born. And somewhere between darkness and dawn, you will always find your way home. You've made it to the end of our journey, through the science of dreams, through the hush of night, through the quiet chambers of your own mind. What began as curiosity has become peace. Your breathing has slowed, your thoughts have softened, and the noise of the day now feels far away. Somewhere behind your closed eyes, the story continues. The mind never truly stops. It just changes pace, humming now in gentle rhythm. The neurons you heard about tonight are still at work, healing, balancing, building calm where chaos once lived. You don't have to remember every fact. Your body already has. All you need to do is rest. If this calm feels right, you can subscribe, so the next quiet journey finds you again tomorrow night. Tap like if the science soothed you, and comment your favorite dream moment below. Every word you leave becomes a small lantern for another listener, a way for peace to travel further into the dark. Now let the sound fade, let the silence rise. The world will wait. Your only task is to drift. Somewhere in the distance, the mind is still dreaming, still painting, still breathing for you. And as you slip beyond the screen, remember, sleep isn't the end of awareness. It's the beginning of peace. Rest well, dream deeply, and wake gently. The night is yours.